Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to this review of Umberto D, which is a 1952 film from Italy, I believe. We're watching this in my introduction to film theory university classes. Well, screenings after the lectures, to be honest. Last semester we did screenings for 7 films, which you can find on this channel. They were, I'll quickly go through them: Sherlock Jr., Suspiria, the original, Hero, Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, Barton Fink, The Red Shoes, and Our Station Dog. So you can check those out on this channel, and there'll be more. I'll let you know which ones later. I'll get the list out. Which ones are coming. There may be some changes. I mean, last week when we got the list, there have been some changes since that we've sorted. Changed out on some that's going to be double checked. But starting off with Umberto D, which is just under an hour and a half. Yeah, just under an hour and a half. Film from Italy, I believe. In 52. It's about a old man who's worked in civil service, who's not yet got his pension, and he and his only companion, a dog, are living in this pretty shit place, which is owned by this bitchy woman who really wants to kick him out for some reason, and she's not a nice woman. And she also has a maid who's a very nice woman, but she's pregnant, so she's probably going to get kicked out when the other woman realises. So yeah, you're pretty much getting rid of your maid. You're going to have to start looking for a new one, Missy. That's the problem with these people. Whenever their servants get maids or servants or wards get pregnant, they get kicked out like as soon as they find out. Supposedly, one of a soldier, or someone from Naples or Florence. In the end, Mr. Umberto, as the main character is called, tells her to not go with the Florence guy, to dump him, and go with the Naples one, I suppose. Both of them deny being the father, so, I don't know. Yeah. So, Mr. Umberto, he's alright, he's a good character. The film is basically, there isn't really that much. It's trying to show realism during Italy in the 1950s, post-war Italy. But thing is, the story is kind of meandering. Not meandering, it's just taking its time to get to the point. It's nice seeing Mr. Umberto go through lots of stuff. Well, not nice, but you know what I mean. But it just takes its time. It's a bit of a drag in some places. And there's some bits that are just there for the sake of it, like dog getting taken to the pound after it runs away from the home when he's out to the hospital. Some bits are there that don't really make much sense. I mean, I can understand him going to the hospital because of the throat thing. Then the landlady sees him, but she has, she's like, oh no, expression on the face. But then later on, she's back, if not worse than before, back to what she was, if not worse, and may or may not have purposely let the dog out. On purpose. And after Mr. Umberto confronts her about that potential, she then says, oh, I'm kicking you out tomorrow, instead of letting him go to the full day 30, unless the month went by really quickly. But I don't think it did. So she's now moved his what's the word? Kicking out. Eviction dates from the 30th of the month. Enough time for him to get some money, because he gets a pension on the 27th. Plus he has some money he's gotten now. She wants the whole thing though. Not in parts. She's missing out then. But now she says, oh, tomorrow. So I'm guessing either because maybe he spent so much time in the hospital. Maybe it's the 29th. In which case, where's his pension? He ought to have gotten it. I think she just decided, no, I've had enough of him. Get out. Tomorrow. I don't care. I don't care about waiting till the 30th. Get out tomorrow. It's not really explained. This film doesn't have too much dialogue, but there is enough to have a plot, to understand what's going on. I mean, you can understand what's going on visually, but there's you do need some dialogue to understand why it's going on, and I think some silent films you don't get too much of that, but this one I think it needed it. There's some great cinematography, and the editing works really well, but I just think the story is a kind of a mixed thing. I mean, it's good stuff, but there's other points where we're focusing on characters or situations, and we don't really need to. We focus on one bit with the maid Maria, for a bit, where she's worrying about, I guess, being pregnant, and she's trying to make some coffee. She can't sleep. Okay, okay. I don't know why we're having it, but okay. Yeah, it's just a strange way of telling the story, going around the story. It's kind of, I'm wondering what the mindset was. And also the ending. Well, he leaves before he can get evicted, and he tries to have the dog sent somewhere so he could, and then, I don't know, he tries to kill himself or something, and eventually, I don't know, he's trying to get rid of the dog. Not get rid of the dog, but trying to give him some new owners so he doesn't get hurt. Comes close with a little girl, but her parents, well, mother at least, is like, no! So, yeah, and the father doesn't really do much. In fact, he's smiling after that big row in argument and stuff, and the daughter's crying about not having the dog, and the mum was like, oh, you're angry for no reason. And the father's just there smiling behind him for, I don't know, what a creep. And then Umberto then tries to commit suicide with his dog after trying to abandon him with some kids, and it was going to be with get run over by a train, but the dog runs away, so he just sort of misses him quickly. And then he tries to get the dog back, and I'm sorry, oh, here, come, let's play. And then the film ends with them reuniting. That's it. They had all that. And then they had that, the dog being a bit scared of him, and then, okay, it comes back to him, they're playing, and then it ends. Nothing else? I mean, what? Okay, I'm glad it came back to him, but where are we going to go? We're not going to see what happened next? And also he left his hat and suitcase on the seat. Are we going to assume he forgot about those? Are they going to find somewhere new to go? Are they going to get money? Is he going to be able to give the dog somewhere? I think it would have been better if he had given the dog to someone and then he would have gone and committed suicide. Or he found a place and then he died peacefully. I think just some sort of closure. There isn't any closure. I suppose when I said it was meandering a little bit, the story didn't really meander, but I think the ending just couldn't make up its mind what to do, so it tried some bits and bobs, but decided to keep going a little bit longer, and then just decided, you know, we've had enough, stop here. I don't know. It just feels like the ending doesn't work. I don't know what is going on. I mean, character-wise, it makes sense, but I just don't think it works on a story basis. Character-wise, I think they're good, but I just don't know what's going on with them half the time. It's not because there's not that much dialogue, it's also because I'm trying to follow the story, but it's just that it's going all over the place. Yeah, this is a struggle. So, Umberto D, I'm even struggling to talk about it. And quickly too, I've not got much time. So I think I'll just wrap it up. Okay, Umberto D is good, but I have no idea what it's trying to do. I know it's trying to show the situation of the current times of Italy, but it's going all over the place with this story. So, yeah, I'm going to give Umberto D a 8 out of 10. Yeah, and it's gotten that score because of the reasons I mentioned. I'm not sure where it's going with its story. I can see where it's going with its ideas and its points, but the story doesn't quite match up. And I think the ending doesn't quite work. If they actually ended it, then it probably would work. At least I would have thought killing him off, running him over by the train, reactions in the paper maybe. there, finished, no problem. But no, it just keeps going until it doesn't, and then it stops abruptly. A bit like The Birds, basically, which is one we will be looking at as well. We're going to be watching that one last. I'll do the list in a bit. But yeah, it just stops. Just decides to stop. I don't know why, it just does. Anyway, so that's my review of Umberto D. I will now read the list to you. Okay, so my list is week 2, Umberto D, which is this week at time of recording. Week 3, Legally Blonde. Week 4, The Help, replacing Walkabout. Week 5, Vertigo, replacing Eraserhead. So I'm not going to be watching or reviewing Walkabout or Eraserhead. Instead, I'm doing The Help and Vertigo. Week 6, Cleo from 5 to 7. Week 7 and 8 on this list might actually be swapped around, as Canvas, what we're using as our website kind of thing to help with students, claims that what we're doing on week 8, the film on week 8 will be week 7, and the week 7 film will be week 8. On my list, week 7 is Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and week 8 is The Dark Knight. But those two could be swapped around, so The Dark Knight could be week 7, and week 8 could be Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and week 9 is The Birds, which I've already reviewed, so I won't need to re-review. I might not need to re-review that, but I might. We'll see when we get round to it. We'll also see whether The Dark Knight is week 7 or if it is as the list says, week 8. So if it's week 8 like on the list, or if it's swapped with Hedwig and it becomes week 7 and Hedwig becomes week 8. I will also watch and review Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises as well, and do reviews for those two as well. But those will be separate. I'm also thinking of doing rankings for my 2 semester 1, semester 1 Introduction to Film Studies, film ranking, and semester 2 Introduction to Film Theory film rankings. In that case, that will be after week 9, so April-ish. So I might have to do one for the semester 1 ones. Okay, so that's the list. I'll return you back to me to wrap up the review. So yeah, the next film we'll be checking out will be Legally Blonde. So that'll be the next of these reviews of the semester of my Anglia Ruskin University Introduction to Film Theory module as part of the Film Studies and Media Studies course, and Introduction to Film Theory semester in year 1, semester 2 at least, screenings, and next up is Legally Blonde, which will be, so that'll be number 2. And yeah, as for films in general, I recorded a review of You Only Live Twice earlier, but I saw that after Umberto D, at least latest viewing anyway, and for the reviews. So my the next film review will be You Only Live Twice. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel. So that's the list now.